steps aside and makes room for me, but I'm careful not to make further eye contact with him. I fish around in my purse for the key. When I find it, he moves beside me, pressing a hand against the door. Are you about to go in there? I glance up at him and then back at Ethan's door. Why is he asking me that? My heart begins to race at the thought of being alone in a hallway with a strange guy who's wondering if I'm about to open a door to an empty apartment. Does he know Ethan isn't home? Does he know I'm alone? I clear my throat and try to hide my fear, even though the guy looks harmless. But I guess evil doesn't have a telling exterior, so it's hard to judge. My fiancé lives here. He's inside. I lie. The guy nods vigorously. Yeah, he's inside all right. He clenches his fist and taps the wall next to the door. Inside my fucking girlfriend. I took a self-defense class once. The instructor taught us to slide a key between our fingers, poking outward, so if you're attacked, you can stab the attacker in the eye. I do this, prepared for the cycle in front of me, to lunge any second now. He blows out a breath and I can't help but notice the air between us fills with the smell of cinnamon. What a strange thought to have in the moment before I'm attacked. What an odd lineup that would be at the police station. Oh, I can't really tell you what my attacker was wearing, but his breath smelled good, like Big Red. You have the wrong apartment, I tell him, hoping he'll walk away without an argument. He shakes his head. Tiny little fast shakes that indicate I couldn't be more wrong and he couldn't be more right. I have the right apartment, I'm positive. Does your fiancé drive a blue Volvo? Okay, so he's stalking Ethan. My mouth is dry. Water would be nice. Is he about 6 foot tall? Black hair? Wears a North Face jacket that's too big for him. I press a hand against my stomach. Vodka would be nice. Does your fiancé work for Dr. Van Kemp? Now I'm the one shaking my head. Not only does Ethan work for Dr. Van Kemp, his father is Dr. Van Kemp. How does this guy know so much about Ethan? My girlfriend works for him. With him. He says, glancing at the apartment door with disgust. More than works with him, apparently. Ethan wouldn't. I'm interrupted by it. The fucking. I hear Ethan's name being called out in a faint voice. At least it's faint from this side of the door. Ethan's bedroom is against the far side of his apartment, which indicates that whoever she isn't being quiet about it. She's screaming his name. While he fucks her, I immediately back away from the door. The reality of what is happening inside Ethan's apartment makes me dizzy. It makes my whole world unstable. My past, my present, my future. All of it is spinning out of control. The guy grips my arm and stabilizes me. You okay? He steadies me against the wall. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have blurted it out like that. I open my mouth, but uncertainty is all that comes out. Are you sure? Maybe those sounds aren't coming from Ethan's apartment. Maybe it's the couple in the apartment next door. That's convenient. Ethan's neighbor is named Ethan too. It's a sarcastic question, but I immediately see the regret in his eyes after he says it. That's nice of him. Finding it in himself to feel compassion for me when he's obviously experiencing the same thing. I followed them, he says. They're in there together. My girlfriend and your boyfriend. Fiancé, I correct. I walk across the hallway, lean against the wall, then eventually slide down to the floor. I probably shouldn't plop myself on the floor because I'm wearing a skirt. Ethan likes skirts, so I thought it'd be nice and wear one for him. But now I want to take my skirt off and tie it around his neck and choke him with it. I stare at my shoes for so long I be damned if Sasha or Ethan will eat any of this. Whores, I mutter. Whores with no food, Graham says. Maybe they'll both starve to death. I smile. Then I eat and wonder how long I'm going to sit out here in the hallway with this guy. I don't want to be here when the door opens because I don't want to see what Sasha looks like. But I also don't want to miss the moment when she opens the door and finds Graham sitting out here, eating her Chinese food. So I wait and eat with Graham. After several minutes, he sets down his container and reaches into the takeout bag, pulling out 2 fortune cookies. He hands one to me and proceeds to open his. He breaks open the cookie and unfolds the strip of paper, then reads his fortune out loud. You will succeed in a great business endeavor today. He folds the fortune in half after reading it. Figures, I took off work today. Stupid fortune, I mutter. Graham wads his fortune into a tiny ball and flicks it at Ethan's door. I crack open my cookie and slip the fortune out of it. If you only shine light on your flaws, all your perfects will dim. I like it, he says. I wad up the fortune and flick it at the door like he did. I'm a grammar snob. It should be all your perfections. That's what makes me like it. The one word they misuse is perfects. Kind of ironic. He crawls forward and grabs the fortune, then scoots back against the wall. He hands it to me. I think you should keep it. I immediately brush his hand and the fortune away. I don't want a reminder of this moment. He stares at me in thought. Yeah, me neither. I think we're both growing more nervous at the prospect of the door opening any minute, so we just listen for their voices and don't speak. Graham pulls out the threads of his blue jeans over his right knee until there's a small pile of threads on the floor and barely anything covering his knee. I pick up one of the threads and twist it between my fingers. We used to play this word game on our laptops at night, he says. I was really good at it. I'm the one who introduced Sasha to the game, but she would always beat my score every damn night. He stretches his legs out. They're a lot longer than mine. It used to impress me until I saw an $800 charge for the game on her bank statement. She was buying extra letters at $5 a pop just so she could beat me. I try to picture this guy playing games on his laptop at night, but it's hard. He looks like the kind of guy who reads novels and cleans his apartment twice a day and folds his socks and then tops off all that perfection with a morning run. Ethan doesn't know how to change a tire. We've had 2 flats since we've been together, and he had to call a tow truck both times. Graham shakes his head a little and says, I'm not looking for reasons to excuse the bastard, but that's not so bad. A lot of guys don't know how to change a tire. I know. That's not the bad part. The bad part is that I do know how to change a tire. He just refused to let me because it would have embarrassed him to have to stand aside while a girl changed his tire. There's something more in Graham's expression, something that I haven't noticed. Concern, maybe. He begs me with a serious stare. Do not forgive him for this, Quinn. His words make my chest tighten. I won't, I say with complete confidence. I don't want him back after this. I keep wondering why I'm not crying. Maybe that's a sign. He has a knowing look in his eye, but then the lines around his eyes fall a little. You'll cry tonight in bed. That's when it'll hurt the most, when you're alone. Everything suddenly feels heavier with that comment. I don't want to cry, but I know this is all going to hit me any minute now. I met Ethan right after I started college, and we've been together 4 years now. That's a lot to lose in one moment, and even though I know it's over, I don't want to confront him. I just wanted to walk away and be done with him. I don't want to need closure or even an explanation, but I'm scared I'll need both of those things when I'm alone tonight. We should probably get tested. Graham's words and the fear that consumes me after he says them are cut off by the sound of Ethan's muffled voice. He's walking toward the door. I turn to look at his apartment door, but Graham touches my face and pulls my attention back to him. The worst thing we could do right now is show